Welcome to Cuckoo for Who, a Doctor Who podcast. Season 10, episode 6, Extremis.
The Pope urges the Doctor to read the Veritas, which contains the deadly truth.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's it, huh? That's the whole description.
Yeah. I'm your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is...
Martha Southgate.
And?
Rob Southgate.
This one was scary.
I was right.
What? Oh, about Missy?
I think that is the most important thing in this episode.
You knew who was in the vault.
I knew it. I kept saying it.
And I didn't think it was, but you are 100%
Dead
right.
on.
It was Missy, which I
No
was
pun intended.
so
Dead
happy
on.
to see Missy come back.
Yeah,
She's
she was
amazing.
fun in this one.
Yeah, the Master is one of my favorite characters. I love when the Master shows up, and this was a perfect amount of time.
Oh,
And they
yeah.
had good dialogue together.
I love when they all thought she was dead and she wakes up, she's like, what? I was a little bit tired.
Yeah.
I just fell asleep.
It's like that movie, I Love You to Death, when she keeps trying to poison him.
keeps-
And he keeps waiting. He's like, Monopoly.
Yeah.
Never mind. I can't say that line.
All
right.
We'll just stop it right there.
Go see that watch that movie.
Yeah, see the movie.
It's
I
funny.
Love You to Death. It's funny.
I thought it was really interesting how the entire episode played out in an email, and how at the end it was revealed that he had figured this entire thing out. They were inside of this computer simulation. And then he went, I'm gonna do what everyone the only thing a computer simulation can do. I'm gonna email this to another computer.
Right.
And he emailed it to himself in the real world.
Right.
And so we see him in the beginning reading that email.
Titled Extremis.
Yeah.
Yes. So I have a question. When it was revealed, because the one who revealed it to us was Nardal.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys suspect anything there?
No. I didn't guess. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I mean, not even that it was a simulation, but that there was something up.
No.
I really just thought it was like another portal realm.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking that too.
When they got in, I was like, how are they in the Pentagon? And then next door was
I just thought there were
CERN.
portals.
But I was like, I
was
thought
thinking
something
it would
was
be in
weird.
like alien worlds and not our world.
Yeah, it was weird. And so then when they said, "Oh, it's a simulation. It's a hologram," I was like, "Oh, it's virtual reality worlds."
And importantly, it was a hologram of Earth, specifically.
And it was interesting that the scientists at CERN in the hologram figured it out.
Yes,
which is why they were going to blow up their part of this, because they realized they were part of a simulation.
Well, and they said that in the show. He said, imagine if Mario got tired of dying and just deleted himself from the game.
Right.
So all these people that were reading this Veritas, they were then killing themselves. It was to get themselves, they all knew the truth was that you're in a simulation.
Right.
And so
they
all
wanted to get out.
And the only way to get out is to delete yourself from the simulation.
Yeah, it would be like any video game character if they suddenly realized, wait, I'm a game?
Yeah.
Well, so you know what's interesting? Most shows, most sci-fi I've read that tries to address this really kind of simplifies it.
Mm-hmm.
This was very complex.
Yeah.
And it was touching on a couple of really interesting things. One is there is a big theory that we are currently, us, living in a simulation, that we live in the Matrix. I don't believe it either.
I was just shaking my head. I know you guys can't see that, but I was like,
But there are people out there that believe it, and there's actually, this is what's interesting, there is scientific proof that we are, but not scientific proof that you would go, wait, we are! It's more like they're like, this has all the earmarks of a glitch. If that is actually a glitch, that means we're in a simulation. And it also might mean that we're thinking in terms of a computer, but it might be, it's just like that whole thing of like, we're a speck in God's fingernail, or we're an elaborate idea that's been played out for a million times.
Or we could be an alternate reality.
Yeah, we're in a multiverse, and there are
like
multiple
when
versions
people
of us
have,
across
when
the
people
universes.
have deja vu and they think, "Oh, I've lived this before. I've seen this before," or whatever.
a
lot of times people think that that's an example of being in an alternate.
Right, and that's actually
alternate
one
reality.
of the things that they cite as proof that we're in a simulation.
But we don't. Also, we don't. Well, it's not. It wouldn't be computer because we don't have the number thing. They said because in this one, every single person.
Yeah, you're thinking that's what they used. That doesn't.
Or like
mean...
in terms, this is reality.
Right, right. Now the other thing is CERN is real. Do you know what CERN is?
I do not, but I assume it's like a science corporation.
So CERN is a very interesting topic. It's something to look up. I'm not going to get the year right, but they started the particle accelerator. And when they turned it on, people claim everything changed. So the Mandela effect?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or that episode of X-Files?
Yes. Know it well.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did they call that one?
The
Mengele effect.
Oh, yeah, it depends on which character.
Right, but it's the Mandela effect.
That was in the
where people have very distinct
forehead sweat episode.
Memories of things that have happened. A great example is Star Wars has a whole bunch of them. C-3PO is solid gold. I remember my toys were solid gold. Everything I know about him is solid gold. But if you go back and you look at production things now, he's got a silver leg. It's the most bizarre
They weren't
thing.
solid gold, like... Actually, you don't mean that.
No, his coloring was solid gold.
Yeah, his coloring's solid gold.
I was like, where you did not have solid gold toys, you weirdo.
No. In the movie, he was all gold. In Empire Strikes Back, the lower part of his leg is silver. But really, we all remember it as being all gold.
I remember him being
He's
all
But
all
go
gold.
look it up on the internet. The pictures of him from Star Wars, he's got silver. If you watch the movie, it's silver. Or at least that's what people say. And that's an easy one. The bigger one that everybody's heard of, something about this, is Berenstain Bears versus Berenstain Bears.
Right.
Yeah.
And that whole concept, the Mandela effect, started when the particle accelerator went on that CERN has.
Really?
So people believe that it ripped a hole through time and space, much like Doctor Who.
That's crazy.
And so when CERN showed up here, I thought how interesting they're playing around with CERN and how interesting that the scientists at CERN in the simulation figured out it was a simulation.
Yeah. That's really cool. I haven't heard of that before.
Plus, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts about cults and things, and when they were going to blow themselves up, as soon as that guy was ushering them in that room, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a cult? I didn't know it was CERN. And then when they said it was CERN, I was like, they're going to kill themselves
Yeah,
before they showed anything.
Right.
Because it had all the earmarks. And there it was, dynamite.
At first, I saw he was wearing, like, the white lab coat, but my brain was like, wait, is he a doctor? I was like, wait.
Scientist?
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, wait, why is the doctor, like, sitting there drinking?
With a doctor.
Yeah, well, he wasn't with the doctor.
No. Nardole and Bill were with the doctor.
Yeah.
It's so confusing. So, yeah, I thought that was really, really interesting stuff that was going on.
I want to talk about my favorite part.
Yes.
What is it?
Was Bill's date.
Yes.
Bill's date was awesome.
And they...
First of all, the landlady who's like, you can't have men over here. And she's like, oh, it's a girl. And she just assumes, she's just here to watch Netflix.
Cute.
And Bill's like, okay. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Go with that.
I won't.
Yeah, pretty sure I'm gonna, actually.
And I really liked how they handled all that, because the woman is like, it was obviously that Bill, we know, has got experience. This girl was like, I don't know what this is. And Bill's like, right now it's nothing. It's cool. We're just hanging out. And I was like, that is such a nice, gentle way to handle this whole thing for the characters, for the actors. The audience is watching it going, like, I'm watching it thinking, oh my God, I want them to fall in love.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I thought she was awesome.
Her.
Yeah.
We're not going to see her again.
Because the Pope walked out of her bedroom.
We might. No, but then
the Pope walked out, and then the woman looked into the bedroom, and there's all these priests standing in there.
Yeah, she's like, I'm out.
And the TARDIS was in the middle of it.
She's like, what's that noise? Oh, it's my pipes, And then she goes, sometimes I yell at them. And because she was about to go in there and yell at the doctor for interrupting her date.
She goes into the doctor, she goes, when I'm on a date, you do not let the Pope come out of my bedroom.
Exactly. Yeah. I love that he walks out and like they made her
fantastic.
room like backlit with white, so it was
Yeah.
like, and then like fog came out
it
behind
was
it, and then
fantastic.
and he's like, "Hello."
That was great.
How about when the Pope showed up and the doctor goes, "Wait, you don't do that. He doesn't drive around in his Pope mobile and just show up."
Right, he doesn't time travel.
Yeah.
He doesn't travel around and visit people in his Pope mobile. Well, and he goes, because he was trying not to let anyone know he was blind, and he's standing at the podium, and they're like, "Oh, the Pope," and then he goes, "What?" And he's like, "He's right in front of you." You know,
He's like,
not here. No, he's.
And then
he's like,
"What?"
No, he said it better. He went, if this is such a big deal, why didn't the Pope just come here and talk to me himself?
Like,
and then he's like,
right in front of you.
right in front of your face.
How about
that's
the other
funny.
one? Nerdall's not very good at this when he's like, "There's a light, and it's 10 feet in front of you, coming from the left." How do they not know that he's blind?
Exactly. He kept going, "Oh, a laptop." Like, he kept trying to
Make it just sound like he was
describe
saying it.
everything everywhere he was. I can't believe Bill didn't look at him like, "What is wrong?"
And he was like, "Oh, look, a chair that has strappings."
Yeah.
It was funny.
The whole thing with Extremis too. Now here's another outside of Doctor Who thing. In the Marvel universe, Extremis is like engineered mechanics inside of the body. So Iron Man stops wearing a suit at some point, and he gets injected with Extremis, and his suit is actually thought control that comes out of his pores, the metal, and it forms Iron Man.
I feel like I remember that, actually.
And in the movies, they played around with that a little bit. So when the Extremis showed up on his goggles, I was like,
Goggles?
Who
was wearing goggles?
What
Was
do
he
you
going
call 'em?
swimming or something?
He has steampunk goggles?
Sunglasses. But when they showed up on there, the first thing I was like, Extremis, are they going to have something in the bloodline or something?
In extremis means like close to death or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. That's I think
Or
Tony
something
named it
like
that
that.
because he was using it for the thing that's in his heart. He switched it out. He got rid of that and he put Extremis into his body, and that's what gives him the power to do this other stuff. Here, once again, I was kind of thinking that was it, and it was interesting to see how he was blind and all that going through with that.
Yeah. Well, and then he used those thingies from I think it's like Gallifreyan or something.
Yeah, the technology.
that was interesting.
And he stuck them on his
It was
temples,
in his iPod thing,
or
his
like
case.
up above his eyes, like almost to his temples, and he put them on. And he said, I'm either going to die or I'm going to be able to see for a little bit.
Right.
But he said, it's going to take something from my future.
That was the most important thing.
Yeah, and he said, either I'm going to die in 20 minutes, I won't regenerate.
Every generation
new
could be blind.
Yes. Oh my
everyone-
gosh, could you imagine?
So that was a plot device. We don't know what it's going to cause.
I wonder if
And
it's
are
going
they
to be
gonna-
the next Doctor.
Well, are they going to show us something in this season?
Well, and
or are they going to let that one float?
Now, wait a second. The other thing is, will it do anything if he was already in a simulation when he did it?
True. If that was a simulation of the Doctor, then
So the other Doctors in the simulation would have something.
No,
Right.
But not the
well,
regular
yeah, but not him. Mhm.
But not the Doctor.
Right. Doctor.
and at what point
Did
did
you
they
like that
enter the
sound?
simulation?
What? Who?
At what point did they enter the simulation?
Or were they already in it, not knowing
Are
it?
they in it right now?
Did they enter it as soon as they went down into that heretic combs or whatever they called that?
Could be.
I was thinking maybe, but he could be in it when Bill even had her date.
He could be in it this whole season.
Did you guys think it was weird that the Pope was a woman?
Yeah, Pope Benedict, the 10th, was a woman. That was very odd.
It wasn't.
And
But why was it?
well,
on the door?
that could be
Part of the simulation.
Part of the simulation, because she also looked like a supermodel.
Yeah, she did. I was like, well, this is really weird.
And
Why is
the doctor is like, oh yeah, I remember that with the pasties and everything, and you're like,
what?
What?
And when they showed her, and I thought this was very confusing. So maybe that's part of the simulation, and maybe that's part of the simulation. Like that'll be something that shows us the Doctor went back and messed with the simulation before any of this that we saw, because he does do that. He could go back in time and change all these things.
Yeah.
So that we see these things, now we go back and we're like, there's a clue. He was already onto this. Why would he put this woman in there? That woman might show up later, not as the Pope, but he'll be like, I'm going to make you the Pope, or whatever.
Could be.
So we'll see.
That's cool.
I liked at the end when he told Bill, "Have you had a date with Penny?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, she's out of my league." And he's like,
No.
she's not. Call her right now, and
We've got to do this.
yeah, because you're going to be busy for a while. Like
Right.
things are going to start happening, and you're not going to get another chance.
So was that Penny, the girl that was over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so maybe we will see her.
I was gonna say, I love so much when Nardole told off Bill.
Yes.
And she was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Are
So
you
you're tough?
secretly, she's like, yeah, are you secretly tough? And it's like, not secretly, baby.
baby doll. He
Yeah,
called
he
her
went-
baby
He
doll.
went, not secretly, baby doll.
Oh my gosh, that was funny. He's like, I am the only one who is able to beat up the doctor.
Well,
Yeah.
we actually addressed that. I think it was at the beginning of the season when he was said he was there. He's the safety valve against the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that can stop him, and we were like, "What's up with that?"
Because he seems
here-
so unassuming.
And here he brought it back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Well, and the doctor told him, you walk in front of her. Like, you go in front of her and protect her. And she kept walking next to him, and he kept trying to like,
And like he would put
elbow
his
his
arm
way
out.
in.
you got the wrong person. You're going to try this,
Right.
macho
Oh,
thing on.
so funny.
And he's like, yeah, maybe you don't understand why. It had nothing to do with macho. It had everything to do with, or sexism.
Yeah.
It had everything to do with, he is a trained protector.
yes.
Yeah.
So walk behind him because he can handle it. The same could have been said for her. If she had been trained, we could have seen the same thing play out the opposite way.
I
So-
find that very interesting that Nardole has like all this training and stuff we're getting to see.
And he doesn't appear to. I mean,
No.
he looks
Yeah.
like a...
he looks like a human potato dwarf. So,
So the line was, "Are you secretly a badass?" And he says, "Nothing secret about it, baby doll." There is a lot secret about it because he doesn't look like a badass.
Yeah.
no,
absolutely.
yeah, and she's like, okay.
Yeah, so funny.
he must be able to move pretty well in that winter coat that he wears all the
The
Oh
time.
my gosh.
The toddler coat.
His toddler
Yes.
coat, his Paddington coat.
And he was in Paddington.
Was he?
Yeah.
I didn't
wasn't
remember
The
that.
doctor was.
Peter
Yeah, the doctor
Capaldi
was.
was, but I could have. Yeah, he was like a taxi cab driver.
Oh, Nardole, I think he was. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Matt Lucas.
yeah.
Not
I was like, that. He
So,
enjoys Nardole.
so here's the question. So we've got different times going on in this in this episode.
Yes.
And we have Nardole comes up in his hood during the Missy trial
Yes.
thing. And the doctor goes over to him, and River sent him
Yes.
to the doctor. And he read part of her diary, and it made me weepy. And
Yes.
I couldn't find it. I wanted to be able to read
It was
what,
so
what he said. But
well, and it was the cover and everything.
Yeah.
and it
He
was
said
like,
something about like, "Oh, my husband, my man,
Oh my
Fox,
gosh.
I love you so much," and it was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
no.
So, was that the first time he started working with Nardole?
I don't."
Did
think
he
so.
already know him?
See, that's what I don't
Did
know.
he-
It
It's
implied
hard to
there
tell.
that it was the first time.
Well, no,
But then you'd have to go back and you'd have to look at when Nardole, because didn't he show up in the Christmas episode the first time?
he did, and also there it didn't imply that necessarily because they had this interaction. And at first, it seemed like it was, but then at the end, like he was calling him by his name, being like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Nardole, help me move her to the vault."
Did
And,
Nardole didn't say his name, so the doctor knew it.
Mm-hmm.
But it might have been the point when Nardole stayed with him from this point.
that makes sense. That could have better.
Because he wasn't staying with him before that.
Right. River said you go and you take
And
care
I
of
have
him.
a feeling the doctor is the one that handpicked him to say, well, I know it. It wasn't the Gallifreyans that gave Nardole to him to protect. He said, the doctor took him and said, you have the ability to protect against me. You can
Yeah.
stop me.
Yeah.
So I'm giving you full permission to stop me.
Wow.
So that's why that happened. So
But-
I don't think it was his first interaction with Nardole, but I think it's where
He joined
relationship
him. Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I love them as friends.
And I
They're,
love
like, the
that
best
it's
friends.
River who sent him.
Oh my
I know.
gosh.
I love, but he read that.
Please bring me River.
Oh my gosh, yes. But he read her.
River's dead.
No, she isn't. That's so.
But no, she isn't. And there's so many. I mean, she might be in one time frame, but
'Cause
she
remember-
can come back.
It said
I
on
want her to
there.
come back. I love her.
I want. I
We're
want
getting
River. We're not
teary eyed
done with
over
River.
here.
You know what I want is
What?
a spin-off show, which we're not going to get, of River Song, even though we can't get the same actress to play her young, because in real life we age. But wouldn't it be incredible if they did the River Song adventures where you could see what because she had
what would be really cool, how you could do it,
crazy stuff going on.
How you could do it is you have Alex Kingston narrate,
kind of like Young Indiana Jones,
and then it shows the flashbacks.
Yeah, where they had the old Indiana Jones and he's telling the stories.
That's what I would do, because then I get all my Alex Kingston, but it's a different actress playing her young.
Happen. And well, Big Finish Audio, I'm sure if they haven't done it, will do that. Which those audiobooks, if you haven't listened to the audiobooks, the Big Finish Audio ones, not the older ones, the ones now, incredible. They have the real actors. David Tennant and Billy Piper have done a series of the Doctor and Rose audiobooks.
Oh, Molly.
And they're all,
I read,
they're all canon.
Have you listened to them?
I have not yet, but I remember a while ago I listened to a little bit of them.
That wasn't Big Finish. That was another series.
Oh, but it was still, it was, Karen Gillan and
Matt
Smith.
Then that is Big Finish.
And I can't remember who plays Rory right now, but it was them.
Well, then it was Big Finish. I thought you originally listened to one of those older ones. Those were before they become canon.
Yeah.
The Big Finish audio stuff is canon. And actually, I don't know if it's still there, but I had typed it in on Spotify, and they had a bunch of the full versions of those Doctor Who's on there.
I did too, but what happened with me was it wasn't the recent ones. So it was all like the second Doctor and stuff, who I don't know that one. Like when I tried to listen to it, I couldn't quite connect with it.
Sure.
Because I didn't know him, but otherwise I'm going to try at the library.
Yeah, but if they have River Song Stories.
Yeah.
And that should be the name. River Song Stories.
Yeah.
I would so eat that up.
Yes. Is it
the stories of River Song?
Or River Song Stories.
Mine's
I like
so much
Mom's
more
better.
Poetic and romantic.
Why are you hitting my head?
That's going to be on the Hallmark Channel.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And it's about her and Matt Smith.
And then she's dating. She's about to marry a workaholic who lives in the city.
Right.
And so it's okay for her to cheat on him with Matt Smith.
Shows up.
Yeah. There you go. Because
it's a Hallmark movie.
Because that's what every Hallmark movie has. And she's a baker.
Yes, and she's a baker, and they
have a florist,
or
a teacher.
They throw flour at each other,
or flowers.
Yeah, or she gets chocolate all over her shirt and is like, oh, and it looks like poo.
Okay, and he comes and wipes it off.
Can we go back to something?
Yes.
I thought that the scene where he had gotten his eyesight back a little bit, and he had the laptop, and he ran from the bad guys with the creepy hands and face, and then they surrounded him. I thought that was one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen on TV.
I love how that was
scary
shot.
Stuff in this.
I love how that was shot. How every time you started to see their face, the thing would blur.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it just looks like a person in a red cloak.
Yeah. So we could see what the Doctor was seeing.
Well, I think they did a really effective job with that too, because they set us up with that a lot. They kept showing kind of that he was seeing blobs. He wasn't seeing. And then when he was getting his sight back, just before that, things were like blobbing along the edges. So when that
Do you remember what he saw first that made him realize what he was dealing with?
He saw the hand.
Yeah.
He went and the hand had its arm
hand.
around him, and he looked and was like, ah!
Yeah.
And that was the first time he realized what he was dealing with.
He thought, because originally he thought it was
looked like
Bill.
a hooded guy. It just looked like one of
the... Not in his coat.
Or it looked... No, it looked like that priest.
The cardinal.
Yeah.
The one who was in the cage.
Right.
He looked like one of those guys. And so he was thinking, okay, this is fine. And then when he saw that
hand.
Disturbing hand. And I loved how they did that throughout the episode where you would, like, the first time when the cardinal, somebody walked up to the portal, and then you just saw the hand come around and grab him.
Yeah.
So I wonder...
I loved how they just gave us little bits.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
that was
wonder
really
right
cool.
now if because somebody had to set up the simulation. Somebody had to make this whole elaborate plan. I wonder if what we're going to find out is...
Oh, it was those aliens.
Yeah.
Which aliens?
The heads guys.
No. I'm saying, what if this is Missy? What if Missy set this all up to fool the doctor so that... Because if you think about what the Master's been trying to do, it's not dissimilar to when they had the episode when the doctor was doing the tapping. What if Missy set up the simulation? She gets... It's kind of like what she did before when they had the thing in the sphere. Yeah. Maybe she's still playing with that. And this is her way of getting, like, having the doctor preoccupied with this other storyline and thinks he's got her trapped. And in fact, her being trapped is part of the simulation.
Could be.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Could be.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I like it, but I feel like I don't know if they're going to go there or not.
Yeah, it's a little similar to the last concept, but at the same time, this would be like Missy finally has this bigger plan that she executes. Like, okay, you figured the last one out, but there's no
Maybe
way.
that plan was leading up to this.
Right. Maybe that plan was, maybe they're in the simulation from even that point.
What if that plan was a test run?
Could be.
And that because she was planning this the whole time, and that one was like just a little test run.
Or maybe we're wrong about every bit of that.
We're going to find out on the next episode.
All I know is
Yes,
that
we are.
I was right, and
Yes, you are.
Missy is in the vault.
So are we done?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Real quickly, follow us on Facebook under Cuckoo for Who. Follow us on Twitter, Cuckoo, 4 Who. And if you want to write us an email, send it to southgatemediagroup@gmail.com. That'll go to us, and we will read it on the show if we got a good one. We also put these episodes up on YouTube. So a lot of people don't know that, but if you go to YouTube and you look up Southgate Media Group, we have a playlist for Cuckoo for Who. You can actually listen through YouTube. We don't really have video on there of it. It just has a static image. But it does have all of our social media and all that, all the contact information in the show notes for the podcast and the show notes on YouTube.
Yes.
So there you go. Any final thoughts, you guys?
I am just very happy that Missy is in there, and we get more Missy, and I hope we get some River.
I do too. Mark, is that it?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Stories of River Song.
The Stories of River Song. Until next time.
Hello.
Alonze.